What's up guys, and welcome once again to another video. We're back. We are back, and on this week's video, it's gonna be a really good one. And this is basically things to consider whenever you are switching from a DSLR camera to a full frame camera, and all of the things that you have to think about before making this type of switch. Now, as you guys know, recently I actually went exactly through this process when I sold my Canon 90D for a Canon EOS R. Now, there were a couple of mistakes that I made throughout the whole process, so I'm making this video so anyone out there that is also going through this doesn't make the same mistakes that I did. So hopefully you can learn from this and your transition can be a lot smoother than mine. All right, so without further ado, run that intro and let's get right into it. All right, guys, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. Now, for the purposes of this video, I will only be talking about the Canon branded ones. Now, there is a whole bunch of other types of brands out there and different types of prices, but to make this video just kind of simple and clear, we're just going to go ahead and stick with the Canon adapter, which is also one of the ones that I bought. So it's just going to make things a whole lot easier. Now, if you haven't seen the video where I actually go through the process and pros and cons about switching over, I will go ahead and link that video right up here and you guys can go ahead and check that video out. Now, we're going to begin with obviously some of the most obvious things that you need when you are switching over. Now, the main thing for me was the actual adapter. So the adapter is basically the most important piece of equipment that you need when you're switching over. Let's just go ahead and break down the kind of adapters that are out there. Now, Canon does make they make a lot more than three, but the three ones that we're going to be talking about here is just your basic adapter. Let me get my notes, and this is just a Canon adapter, basic. It has nothing. This one is going to run you for $99. Now, Canon also makes another adapter for your RF camera, and that is the one that has the little control ring in the front. Now, this is just more specific to RF lenses because a lot of the new RF lenses do have that control ring in the front of your lens that allows you to program that ring to anything you want, and that can be like aperture, ISO, shutter speed, any of those things. White balance can be controlled with this ring. Now, that one, it was a little bit cheaper. That one comes in at $199. And yeah, but I mean, all of these were sold out. So even if I wanted to buy any of these, they were all sold out at the time when I was looking into buying one. On B&H Photo, I believe it says it's going to take about 2 to 4 weeks for delivery time. So that's more or less the time that it's going to take for you to get your adapter if you are looking for one. So first things first, I would just go ahead and order the adapter that you want, and then worried about the camera and lenses and all that other stuff. And the third and final adapter, which is the one that I actually got, is the one that has a drop-in ND filter, which it's pretty awesome, but it's also the most expensive one, coming in at $399. And that's quite of a lot of money for just an adapter for just to get your camera to work. So the one that I got is the one that you drop in an ND filter, and those ND filters kind of look like this. So it's actually something like this. Now, this is what comes with your actual adapter when you first purchase. So this is it. And as you can see, as I turn it, it gets darker and then it gets lighter. But that is as light as it gets. Now, when it gets dark or when you're shooting at nighttime, It just makes it a lot harder for you to shoot, especially if you're shooting video on this camera. So yeah, those are some things that you maybe need to consider when you're making this transition. Alright guys, so another thing that you have to consider when making this transition is that, like I showed you guys previously, this is the adapter, or this is the filter that comes in with your adapter. This thing slides right into the side of your camera, and you are able, like I said earlier, to make things darker and to make things lighter. But there is a big but, and that is I shoot a lot of my photography at night. I like to do long exposures, and when you have an ND filter, it just makes things a little bit more difficult, especially if you want to shoot video at night. You have to crank up your ISO, and well, then it's gonna introduce grain, and it's just gonna start making your image look really bad, basically. So one of the mistakes that I made is that I didn't know that I needed to buy an extra little adapter that's basically another one of these, but it's clear. So I went online and I looked for a little clear adapter that you can just slide in. The thing is that this actually also cost money, and it actually cost me about $109 for just this specific clear adapter. So that is something that you also have to consider if you are thinking about buying this same adapter that you drop in with the NDs. You're gonna have to buy a clear one as well. So let's talk about some of the benefits, because there is a lot of benefits from having this expensive adapter. Now, one of the main benefits that I see from this adapter is, well, that you have an ND filter, like a variable ND, behind the actual lens and not on front of your lens. Like most of the ND filters that we have, we screw them on to the front of our lens, and well, that just makes things a little bit more heavy. Now, if you have a blogging setup, the lighter that you have things, the better, because you are able to hold it like that for a longer period of time. One of the other cool things is, another benefit is that now you have your front lens available for other types of filters. Now, in my particular scenario, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the last couple of videos, I've been using this it's kind of like a pro mist filter, but it's very light. I don't know if you can see it here on the light and on the light back there. It just gives it a little bit of extra glow. So I am able to basically stack different filters on top of my lens, and you can create some pretty cool visuals when it comes to I guess shooting at night with video. Being able to have that Pro Mist type of filter in the front just makes any light a little bit more soft and glowy, and it just makes everything just look so much dreamy. I don't know, I just really like the way it looks. Now, this one is very minimal. You probably can't even notice the difference, but it's there. And just those little subtle I guess adjustments will make your overall image a whole lot better. I also wanted to talk about the actual adapter itself. Now, all of these adapters that are made from Canon are dust and water resistant. You can feel pretty confident when it starts drizzling outside, or you are caught in the rain or something, that your camera is gonna be okay, even with the adapter. Another thing that you should maybe consider is that it's gonna get pretty heavy once you start adding all these layers of things. So the adapter does make your camera pop out a little bit more, which then makes your lens look a little bit longer. And then if you add an ND filter in the front or the hood, it's just gonna make this huge long lens or this huge basically setup when you just have a basic lens. Now on the lens that I'm shooting at now, this is the 16 to 35 f4, and it's a pretty big and heavy lens. And once we add the adapter, once we add the hood, it just creates an overall a little bit heavier setup. So just take that into consideration. All right, guys, so yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope this video kind of helped you guys and maybe guide y'all in a better direction, and maybe avoid some of these mistakes that I made early on, and you can make your transition from DSLR to mirrorless a lot smoother. I will leave links in the description to all 3 filters if you guys want to check those out and purchase them through my affiliate links. I do get a little kickback, supports the channel, so thank you very much for that if you are checking them out. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps out a lot. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Make sure you hit and smash the notification bell so y'all guys can get notified for future videos. And yeah, that's it. Let me know down below which of these adapters you like and which ones you don't. And that's it. I'll see you guys next time. You guys be safe out there, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Clear out the room, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills, do it for the thrill. I'm on a paper route. Extra, read about it. I'm today's trending topic. I put commas over bullshit. Yeah, I put that on mamas. They tryna block all my blessings. They thought I lost the